Mm, 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 mm. Well, you can tell everybody. Hello, how you doing? My name is Brian K McNeill, and I am the Sales Confidence Coach, aka Paw B. I've been called Paw B. Why am I called Paw B? Because over the years, I have collected a bunch of stories, a bunch of useful fiction stories with a point to it. And I use it in my speaking, I use them in my workshops, I use them to tell my children and grandchildren. And over time, some of the stories kind of stand out from the others. Some of them are more fun. And I thought it might be a fun idea for me to share these stories with you in a segment that I call Story Time with Paw B. So consider this like a bedtime story for you. Let's get right into it, shall we? Tonight, I'm going to tell you one of my more popular stories that people seem to like it when I tell. It's the story of the two frogs. The story of the two frogs. Two frogs are hopping along in the jungle together, and they fall into a huge hole. And they try to get out of the hole. They're jumping, and they can't get out of the hole. So they scream for help. Help, 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 help us get out of this hole. Help, help. The other frogs hear them crying out for help. And the other frogs come over to the hole, and they look down, and they see how deep the hole is. And they say to them, "You're never going to get out. There's no way you can get out of this hole. You might as well just die right there. You're never going to get out of this hole." One of the frogs hear them say, "You're never going to get out of this hole, and you might as well die right there," and actually takes that as instructions, lays over, and just lets himself die. The other frog starts jumping, and he's jumping, and he started to jump higher. And the other frogs are looking down at him, struggling and jumping. They're like, "Stop it! Stop it! You can't get out of the hole! Stop jumping so hard! There's no way you're going to get out!" And he's jumping, and his bottom is starting to bounce on the ground. And he's jumping and bouncing, jumping and bouncing, jumping and bouncing. And he jumps one time, and he actually catches the ledge. And he was able to pull himself up out of the hole. And he saved his life. He pulled himself out of the hole. The other frogs gathered around him. "Why'd you keep jumping? We told you there was no way you could get out. Why'd you keep doing it?" "I didn't hear anything you said. I am deaf. I couldn't hear you at all. I saw you guys moving around. I saw your mouths moving like that. I thought you guys were encouraging me. I thought you guys were telling me to keep jumping. I thought you guys were telling me to jump harder and jump higher." The first frog heard what they actually said and laid over and died. The second frog heard what he thought they were saying and ended up saving his own life. So much of the time, the things that we allow ourselves to listen to, the things that we allow ourselves to interpret, can either save our lives or kill us. They can lead to our success or our failure. My name is Brian K McNeill. This is Story Time with Paw B. And I'm going to keep telling these stories at 9 p.m. and I find them fun. I hope you found this story kind of fun too. Maybe you could find your own lesson in that story. You guys have a beautiful rest of your night. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye-bye.